Yo. We back in the building. Peace to everybody. Cairo, bring them in. Dragged through the mud. It's our conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go. Welcome. Hope everybody had a happy new year. Blessed Christmas. We back. First episode of the new year, No Anonymity Podcast and Media. I'm your host with the most, bringing y'all some good content this year. Hopefully everybody had an amazing year. And we got a guest coming on in a few, but I had to jump on here and, do what I do before they came on. You guys give me 1 second. Yeah. Let's go. Where we at? Yeah. So today's show is brought to you by, you guys know I always do a cologne of the evening. This one is called Subtile 33 right here. It almost smells like, let me see. I want to say almost like a Sataf. You guys ever smelled that? Almost, but it smells good. You could throw it on, wear it to the office, wear it to work. The notes in here, they don't really have what's in here, but I need my glasses to see they do have the notes in the back. But I could definitely smell like some cucumber, some rosemary. It's like really it's like kitcheny, if that's a word I'm looking for. Kitcheny. It's like foodie, but it smells good. We back. Now listen, I just want to tell everybody, I had an amazing time. I was asked to come out to Snoop and Dre's Gin and Juice up in Tucson. Let me just off the rip tell y'all, I'll take everything bad I ever said about Tucson back. Except y'all radio stations, trash. Reason why I say that, because they play love songs on a Saturday. They start their slow jams at like 3 p.m., which is crazy. But anyway, went up there. It's a beautiful campus up there at Arizona State. Had fun. The whole Snoop and Dre Gin and Juice thing, they got kicked off. They actually have a bunch of flavors you guys need to check out. They got the melon right here. That's good. This is some of their like some of their fruitier drinks, not the actual gin, the still gin itself. They also have, what is this? This is apricot. They have that, Stupid Dre's. I got a bunch of swag and merch up there. It was dope. It was dope. It was a good experience up in Tucson. They have citrus. One of my favorites. This is really good. I like the citrus. Anybody know me know I be popping off on those squirts. They also have passion fruit. Haven't tried the passion fruit yet. But this is Snoop and Dre's company. It's their baby. I was invited out there with Sarah Tucker. I had a good time in Tucson. Tucson showed me love. Tucson, it went down. We went to a nice little restaurant afterwards. I can't think of it. It was a real vibe. The music was dope. It's owned by a husband and wife. I wish I could think of their names. I don't know. But I'm going to have them on the show. I asked them, could I interview them up there in Tucson? I'm going to be in Tucson, not this weekend, but next weekend. I'll be back up there for a couple of days hanging out. But it was dope. It was a real vibe up there. So Tucson, shout out to y'all. Arizona State campus was beautiful. It was a nice vibe up there. Snoop is cooler than a fan. I wanted him to do a drop for the show, but he was busy. I met the CEO of Bevmo, CEO of Sam's, and their spouses. It was cool. A lot of millionaires up there rubbing elbows and just getting the word out there, getting my name out there, what I do, and just be encouraged to. What I was encouraged to just keep going, build this thing as I fly. I'm not buying no bots. People got bots. And the problem with bots, when you buying these bots for your show, you might buy 50,000 bots, but you only got 10 people watching. When you go to meet with brands, they're like, let me see your analytics. They're looking at your analytics like, okay, you got so many subs. How come you only got this many, you know, people replying or this many people, you know, interacting with you? And it's bots, and it'll hurt your reputation. So we're gonna build this thing as we fly. We ain't gonna be fraudulent with it. We're gonna keep it going. And I know I just showed y'all some liquor from gin and juice because it's gonna be quite contrary to the next guest that I have on, and we're gonna be talking about staying fit after 50. But it's all about work-life balance, man. Y'all definitely go check out the gin and juice. I'm listen, anything Snoop and Dre drop, I'm definitely supporting because they showed your boy love. I got so much swag. They gave me jackets, I got glasses, I got a little doobie tray. You know they be blowing. I got the little doobie bag. I got t-shirts. I got a Snoop and Dre gin and juice ice bucket. Damn, what else I got? I got a bunch of stuff over there. I got a whole swag kit that they gave me. It was real chill, man. So again, shout out to Tucson. You know what I'm saying? There was a vibe up there, but y'all still need to fix Oracle Road. That shit is trash. But anyway, just want to come on there and say that right quick, get that out the way. Waiting on my next guest, and I hope everybody had a great New Year's. And your boy finna go back to old school phone. I'm finna go back to the flip. Look, it even got the sticker on it. I'm going back to the flip for a couple of reasons. One, I'm sick of you attention-seeking heifers out here. Every picture is soft porn. I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? Remember back in the day, if you wanted to see porn, you had to go to a porn site. Now you just go to IG. They doing everything on there. So I'm definitely switching back. No more iPhone. I'm going back to this. This is gonna be my personal phone right here. This is gonna be my personal phone. This will probably be the phone that I just upload my content and do stuff like that with. But I'm taking a break from that crap. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing y'all. You know, fellas, if you get your woman and she ain't doing all that crap on social media, put a ring on her. She only attention she should be needing is from you. Period. All right. But our next guest about to pop up in a minute. Time. What's the ticks? Oh, I got on here early. He coming on at 6 because he got a client at 6. Other than that, we're just gonna get to it. We think about rebranding. If anybody out there can do logos, reach out to me via Instagram. I'm looking for somebody to do me a nice logo. I like the logo I got now, but it's kind of, I did it myself. It's kind of like I want something a little different because we're gonna do some merch. I'm linking up with another podcaster. We're gonna do something together. And I just want something more catchy than see the logo in the back right there. I want something a little bit different from that. It's always going to be the staple of the show, but I just want somebody could draw me something that really brings out what no anonymity is about and what it even means. A lot of people don't know what it means. Google it, look it up, man. But if anybody know anybody, hit my IG. It's no anonymity _podcast. Willing to pay to get the logo how I want it. If it's a dope logo, to get it how I want it, because I want to start doing some merch, doing t-shirts, coffee mugs, little stuff, coffee mugs, stuff like that. So if anybody know anybody, hit your boy up. Back to Tucson for a second. I was in Oro Valley. It's beautiful up there, man. It really is. Like it was. They had your boy in a ritzy area. It was nice up there. It was really nice up there. I was like, wow, okay, this is different. But I had a good time, met some cool people, and just networking, man. I encourage y'all, if y'all got anything y'all trying to do, just keep doing it. Stay to the grind, stay focused. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody get in your way, and just do what you need to do. Start your business. You want to start your business, start your business. You want to travel, travel. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you're trying to do for the new year, make it happen. Stay positive. Keep the fuck boys and fuck girls out your business and out your way. And live your life. Do your thing. All right? We're going to wait on our guests to come in. We're going to talk about staying fit after 50. How important it is to stay fit. He's a strength and fitness coach. He also competed with his son, which was a cool thing. They both was on stage, and I believe they both won. If I'm not mistaken, I think they both won in their respective classes. It was awesome how they did that. You know, his son is like, I want to say he's probably was like 22 at the time. I'm not sure. But father and son on stage, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Both ripped. They both was ripped to shreds. I don't know what were they in classic physique? I think his son was in classic and Mike did bodybuilding, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Cause who wear the shorts? Anybody know out there who wear the shorts, the surfer shorts? Is that classic? Is that classic? Or is that what is that? I can't remember. But he'll be on, he'll be able to explain that more than myself in a few minutes. I just wanted to get on and run my mouth for a minute. Keep the show going. Hope everybody is doing good out there. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the content. It's free to hit the like button. It is free to share the video. It's free to comment. Don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you nothing. Hit it, share it. You can even hit the thumbs down button. Just engage with the show. I appreciate it. You can get on here and say you suck, whatever. As long as you engage, and I don't care. That's what it's about. People engaging. All right. We're not going to do a call in today for the simple fact that we kind of pressed for time with him, but I might have another guest coming on to talk about the new venture that we got coming on. I'm trying to help somebody with their podcast and what they got going on, which is really cool. Good idea of what they doing, what they show. You know what I mean? So y'all just hold tight. We shall be back real soon. All right. Give me a few minutes. Your boy got to use the bathroom and I'll be right back. Hold on.
No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. I'm here to talk the truth and try to spread a little change. Educate your mind, food for your brain. We all want change. In these dying days, the streets at rage, for the youth must pray. I ain't got time for y'all to tell me nothing. Cats be frontin', that's when you know they know nothing. It's a new world order, so fall in line. Sometime if you listen, it can open your eyes. This your brain on drugs, let's explain what was. How some get targeted, dragged through the mud. It's our conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. I'm here to talk the truth and try to spread a little change. Educate your mind, food for your brain. We all want change. In these dying days, the streets at rage, for the youth must pray. I ain't got time for y'all to tell me nothing. Cats be frontin', that's when you know they know nothing. It's a new world order, so fall in line. Sometime if you listen, it can open your eyes. This your brain on drugs, let's explain what was. How some get targeted, dragged through the mud. It's our conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. I'm here to talk the truth and try to spread a little change. Educate your mind, you know, food for your brain. We all want change. In these dying days, the streets at rage, for the youth must pray. I ain't got time for y'all to tell me nothing. Cats be frontin', that's when you know they know nothing. It's a new world order, so fall in line. Sometime if you listen, it can open your eyes. This your brain on drugs. Let's explain what was, how some get targeted, dragged through the mud. It's all conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go.
And just like that, we back, we back, we back, we back. Yeah, we back in the building. What's going on? Listen, we still got a few more minutes before my next guest come on. Some interesting things in the news. This Marvin Sapp, we fall down, we, how the song go? We fall down, we get up, but Savior. The gospel singer has just been hit with a crazy sexual SA lawsuit from an alleged male victim. You don't know how true that is. We'll probably get into that story a little bit later, but we can speak on it briefly before my next guest come in. Do you guys think, and put this in the chat, guys with money, and there might be some women out there with money too. Is it, how can I put this? Why would a person with so much money and power take something? You know what I'm saying? What would make somebody with like Puffy and all them? Are they bored? Is it a control thing? Is it something with the psychological behavior? And I got a guest coming on the show later on in the week. We're gonna be talking about mental illnesses within the prison system itself. So that's gonna be a good show. Y'all stay tuned for that one. But it's just crazy, man. All these people getting these lawsuits and these, I guess my thing is why take so long? If something happened to you like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, is it because you got to process it? You ashamed? I don't want to offend anybody. Is it, what makes people take so long to come out and accuse the accuser of doing what they do, or file charges? That'll just be my only thing, because I guess this happened like while they were in a program called what was it he was doing? I can't think of the program that he was doing, but it's just, it took the guy a minute to come out. Tyler Perry has one. I think, no, he actually has two people suing him, males, for essay charges. So it's just, it's kind of weird. Not saying they're not telling the truth. Not saying that at all. Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm just saying, what takes people so long to come out and say, hey, man, this person is doing X, Y, and Z to me. Maybe they're ashamed. A lot of these things took place before social media. There wasn't any social media when a lot of these things took place. So now I guess people have platforms and they're able to come out and say what happened to them. You guys know I'm a big advocate for missing and exploited women and children and men as well. On my show, I was actually having a conversation with somebody up in Tucson, and they was telling me, like, your show probably will grow more if you took that you're an advocate for missing women and children off of your description. And I was like, wow, I'm just sitting there now, these people with money, and I'm like, why would you, in my mind, why would you say that? And it's because the people that run certain things, certain big things that can make open doors for you, they participate in those things, believe it or not. So he said, do you want to be right, or do you want to be successful? And I'm like, damn, Do I want to be right or do I want to be successful? Meaning, if I want to be right, I can keep that on there, right? Be shadow banned, grow the channel slow, or I can take that off of there and be successful and watch things happen. But I'm like, wow, that's deep because it's just um affirmed what I always knew, that it's a certain group of people that run certain things, and either you with them or you against them. It's just that simple. So that's why I wish I had my own platform, like as far as like my own thing, like YouTube. See, I got a comment. Let's see who this is. Who is this? What year? What you said? Assume position. It's fear of not being believed. The person with money has power. Their word over the victim. Lots of reason. Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. That's probably true. But it's just, and again, they're probably ashamed. I heard Tyler Perry. If you had guys haven't checked out that the Tasha K interview, they was talking to one of Tyler Perry's good friends. I guess I don't know, they hung out together or grew up together. I'm not sure, but he exposed a lot. I guess when you got money like that, you do like hush money. You sign NDAs when you go to work for these companies and stuff like that, and you know, they they want you to, anything you see go on within these companies, to basically be quiet about them. So that's probably one of the reasons, man. Smokey Robinson, man, the list can go on and on. Y'all already know Bill Cosby. Um, what was the Hollywood producer name that went to prison? What was his name? Jesus Christ, can't get it. Howard Weinstein. Of course, the whole Puffy situation was going on. It's a lot that goes on, man. When you start deep diving into like this pedophilia world. Um, Go see the movie Spotlight. If anybody hasn't seen that movie, go check that movie out. The movie Spotlight. It's, man, talking about the Catholic priest. And I will say something about my job, but I'm not. But we had something similar go on. Well, I could say something. I'm not gonna say where I work. We had something similar go on with the job, and they just didn't fire him. They moved him. So I think this makes women be like, what? Why would I even come out and say something? Y'all gonna look at me. Y'all gonna think I'm lying. You're gonna think you're gonna believe the man. 9 times out of 10, they do. You're gonna take the man's side. So a lot of women don't say nothing. A lot of people don't say nothing. But now you got a lot of guys coming out saying other guys are doing stuff to them, which is unfortunate within itself. I guess people that got money like that, the ego trip, power trip, um, think they invincible because they got money, but money comes and goes. You know what I mean? That, you can have money one day and no money the next day. But it's unfortunate. I don't want to bring no sad news to the show right now. What we got? Got a few more minutes for my guests come on, and we're gonna get into it. Get into staying fit after 50 years old. I know a lot of y'all with the new year, you got resolutions. You want to be in shape. You want to be healthy. Let me tell you how I started running. First, it starts visually, especially for men. I started visually. Started watching this guy run. And I just started watching, became visual. I was like, wow, just started watching. Then I started writing it down. Then the next thing I did, I started doing it. So you got to not just think about it. You got to really be about it. You got to just get up, even if it's just walking around your neighborhood. And that's exactly what I did. I started walking around the neighborhood first. I'm not a runner. Started walking around the neighborhood, walking. Now I'm walking fast. Now I'm walking faster. Now I'm running longer. I'm running more. So now, you have to get yourself into that frame of mind of just doing it. Don't let this year be the year you just sit around and talk about it. Let this year be the year you actually do it. Do it. Just do it, man. You want to do a podcast? Just fucking do it. Just hit the live button. Go live. Do what you're going to do, man. Because At the end of the day, nobody gonna come save you. Nobody is going. If you're waiting on a savior, I got sad news for you. Nobody's coming. You feel me? Ain't nobody coming, and really don't nobody care. So do your thing. If people watch, they watch. If they don't watch, they don't watch. I always say this over and over again. I got like 7,000, 5,000 friends on Facebook, maybe 7,000 followers, some crazy number like that. But it doesn't translate to people coming over here to this platform because for some reason they sick minds. If I support him, he'll be more successful than me. He's doing what I want to do, but I'm afraid to do it. You see what I'm saying? So I used to promote on Facebook. I don't do it anymore. Not at all. Facebook is just for me to see what's going on, basically be nosy, check on my family and kids. That's it. I don't promote nothing. I think I have my podcast thumbnail to my page, but other than that, I don't promote over there at all, man, because you're not going to get support from the people you think you're going to get support. Support is going to come from the people that you don't even know. I didn't know Snoop Dum. I didn't know his manager. I didn't know any of those people, but that's where the support came from. And here we go. My boys in the building. Let's go. Let me add you to the stage. Mr. Gruppo, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Jimmy, hold on 1 minute. I'm having audio issues. I can't hear you.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yes, sir. Take your time. I'm just over here babbling my mouth, running my mouth as I do.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
No, I still can't hear you. Hold on.
No worries. You probably got the mute button on. Let's give him a minute to adjust, guys. No worries.
All right, try that again.
Yeah, can you
Oh, goodness. I got to get more tech savvy, man. You would think in my line of work I would have this stuff down, man, but I got some work to do. All right.
It's all good.
I'm here, brother. How you doing?
Okay, I'm good, man. I appreciate you coming on, giving me your time. I
My
thought I
pleasure.
had you on here. Hold on,
My
man.
pleasure. Yes.
This is strength and fitness coach Mike Gruppo. I've been knowing Mike probably like, I want to say like 14 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's been about that. 14. Yeah, I'd say about 14 years. I think you're right.
Yeah, because I've been out here for a while from New York. And crazy thing, we both from New York. Isn't that something? Like sister cities, from Buffalo, from Rochester, same thing. Same
next
same
door.
thing, man.
Yes, right.
Yeah. But I appreciate you coming on here. I had your name up. I don't know why it's not showing. Why it's not staying. Okay, there we go.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But if you want to, just explain to people, what is it that you do and how did you get into what you do?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Coach Gruppo. Michael Gruppo is my government name, I guess we could say. I am a personal trainer / coach. I've been in this industry now for, about 20 years. It really just kind of started off as like a little side gig, you know. I've really been into fitness my whole life since, junior high, I would say, probably from the age of like 13, 14 years old. So, you know, I've been in the gym for over 30 years now, just like I'm sure you have. Passion's always been there. And then, you know, through my adult life, I, you know, had my ups and downs, you know, kind of falling off the wagon for a little bit, getting back on. You know, we raise kids, have responsibilities. It's like, you know, we try to be consistent. When we're younger, sometimes it's hard to juggle that. But, you know, through time, I kind of got things sorted out and decided to get serious with this. Back around 2015, my oldest son, who you've seen in person too. I mean, in pictures, he's competed in bodybuilding. So he did his first show in 2015 at the age of 17, right?
Okay, 17. Okay.
So that is really what motivated me to kind of take it to the next level. Because I mean, I've always been a gym rat. I always looked the part, you know, with a shirt on. But you wouldn't catch me at the pool with the shirt off because I still had the little fluffiness going on. But,
Mhm.
bodybuilding's always been like huge since I was a little kid, man. I grew up watching, Lee Haney, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone,
Mhm.
you name it. Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates. So that was always a big part of my life. And even though, I never competed up in, at that point, the bodybuilding lifestyle was always part of, what I embraced, in
Right.
my own, fitness regime and everything else. But yeah, like after he did his competition, that's when it really put that extra spark in me, to
Okay.
really want to take it to that next level. So I did. I committed myself right after he did that show. Like I'd say beginning of 2016, I committed myself to really, locking in,
Right.
getting on point with the nutrition, the cardio, getting lean,
Mhm.
so I can get that look, get that physique. And, ultimately I did do my first show in 2018, had the privilege of actually competed side by side with my son.
Mhm.
All this time, I was training people here and there kind of on the side, but it just, to me, it was just a side hustle. I was never thinking that this was going to be a career path for me. It was just something I enjoyed doing and a nice way to make extra money. Then COVID came, right?
Mm. Right.
That was a turning point for me. I know
Mm.
2020 was a pretty bad year for most people because of the pandemic and everything. They lost their jobs and
Yeah.
unfortunately lost some loved ones here.
Mhm.
I lost some people due to that as well. So I get it. But in general, it was a good year for me because once the gyms closed down, that's when
Mhm.
I started purchasing a bunch of gym equipment, filling up my garage, setting it up. And, within about 30 days, I had a fully functional, fully equipped gym.
Wow.
It isn't just for me and my sons, right? We just needed a place to work out at. The gyms
Yeah.
were closed down. So
Right.
that's all it was initially. So we're in there doing our thing. Neighbors would walk by, see what we were doing, ask questions. And, a couple of them asked if I would train them. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I picked up a couple of the neighbors, started posting stuff on social media. It started to pick up really quick. I had people just coming
Mhm.
out of the woodwork being like, oh my God, my gym's closed down. Can I come train with you? So I picked up few clients that way. And then from there, word of mouth. So within, I say my first 30 days of really posting content, I went from just, working out at home with my kids to being fully booked with clients from, I would say 5, 6 o'clock in the morning until like 9 o'clock at night with like no
Mm.
breaks. I'm talking like back-to-back sessions. So it blew up quick, man, like overnight.
Wow.
Um, yeah. After that, kind of started to outgrow the garage. It's taking on a bunch of clients, and I really wanted to expand and be able to run group sessions as well. And I just didn't have the space for it. And somebody reached out to me from a pretty popular gym out here called Physique's Gym. The owner, Craig Tennell, also known as the Tin Man, very prominent in the Arizona bodybuilding
Mhm.
scene out
Yeah.
here. So, I give much credit to him for putting me on. Well, he reached out and gave me an opportunity to, relocate my business to his facility and train my clients there. So
Nice.
2021, it just went to that next level, right? It just took off. I mean, I took all of my existing clientele, brought them all with me to this huge gym, and then start taking on even more people because now I had the capacity to do so, right? Um,
Right.
from there, things went great, man. That 2021 was off to a great start, summer, through the fall. And, I just really started to, you know, combination of a few things, I'll be honest, life, personal issues, but
Yeah.
then also, injuries, health problems, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I had to step down for a while. So I did. I stepped away for I'd say closer to 3 years, to be honest with you. I had to really kind of reset and rebuild myself all the way
Yeah.
physically, mentally, spiritually, but physically for sure, because I mean, I had to get a few surgeries over,
Yeah.
after that. I had hip replacement on both hips. I had a knee torn meniscus repaired a couple of years
Mm.
ago. So it was a process getting back to where I could really start lifting again, and the way I would like to. And from there, I found my calling in kind of going back to what I was doing before I started training clients, and that's coaching youth football.
Right.
Um, that was always another passion of mine, because as my sons were growing up, I was very active in their life. So from the time that my oldest son first started playing at about the age 5, this was back in like 2005, so about 20 years ago. That's when I started coaching youth football, Pop Warner, all these other little youth leagues. And we were doing that for 16 seasons, I want to say. And we were even on the board of directors with North Central Pop Warner out here in Arizona. So we were in it pretty thick,
Yeah.
And then ultimately they all grew up and, went on to high school and everything. But once I got to high school, I mean, I became more of a spectator at that point. I wanted to be that proud dad in the stands to watch my kids out there and perform, and just be able to sit back and relax. And that was fun. I enjoyed it. But,
Right.
here about 2 years ago, I decided that wasn't good enough for me. So I actually started coaching high school football 2 years ago, and I got an offer with a high school here in Phoenix called Washington High School.
Okay.
Yeah, became the defensive coordinator, and I'm still there. I've been there for the last 2 years. So that's what ultimately, rekindled a couple things. Number one, my passion for working with younger athletes, student athletes, if you would. But this was a little bit older demographic than what I was doing before, because this is high school. This isn't Pop Warner. So,
Right.
a little bit more mature mindset. A lot of them at this point are starting to think beyond just high school. They're having aspirations going on to play college ball and stuff. So, this was really a good opportunity for me to make a really powerful impact on these young men's lives. So I really became passionate about, just being that positive male role model, and, giving these kids that instilling discipline and structure in them that, most of them just by nature don't really have that. They need that in life.
Right.
And, regardless of whether they have a stable home life or not, like, they're kids,
Exactly.
So they need that structure. So that's yeah, man, that's definitely something that I took a huge passion for. And I decided it was time to just launch the business again, but do it a little differently this time. Kind of refurbish the whole Gruppo Strength brand. So
Right.
when I relaunched the company about 2 months ago now, it was like November, I decided to kind of take a different lane this time, kind of veer away from the typical fitness, scene, the bodybuilding scene, and focus my attention more on the student athlete. So
Okay.
now Gruppo Strength, and don't get me wrong, I still train regular people. A new client I took on yesterday is actually having aspirations of preparing for her first bodybuilding show too. So that's something that we'll be keeping you guys posted on as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just clear to me, that my calling is the student athlete, and that's really been the lane that I've been kind of operating in since relaunching this and just hitting it hard the last couple months. So anybody that's following my Instagram or my TikTok, if you see the content, it's pretty obvious. Like that's the bulk of the content that I'm putting out there. It looks like we have somebody asking a question here.
Yeah, she asking a question. She want to know. She says, Michael, what's your best advice for a 50-year-old female starting to lift after 50? She want to know, she said, if it's even possible. It absolutely is possible with Mike. I'm sure you can answer it a little more.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, great question. And it was right on the money, because that was definitely something we were going to be spending a lot of time talking about this evening, because that is another passion of mine, is really just motivating the middle age, because I just turned 50 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
3 weeks. I just turned 50. So, I'm part of the club now too. But for anybody in their 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond, like, I'm super passionate about helping people out in my age demographic to live very productive lives
Right.
well into their later years. So it is possible. And best advice I can give you, number one, now this kind of depends on what baseline we're starting off with. Like if you've been active leading up until the age 50, well, obviously you're going to be an advantage because you already have that foundation built. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So your path is going to be a little easier than somebody that hasn't really lived that lifestyle yet. So, assuming that maybe you haven't really lived that fit lifestyle up until this point, I would still say absolutely. It is possible to not only stay fit, but get fit and get more fit. You know, we can still grow muscle. We can still improve. Now, I will be honest, it's going to be a harder road than somebody that is still in their 20s and 30s. You know, our metabolisms don't function the same. And another thing too is this is something I've really been putting a lot of focus on with my content too, is building muscle. That to me is truly the fountain of youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit, and this is all backed by science, this is all statistically accurate, and I don't know the exact percentage, but I'm probably close on this one. Once we hit around the age of 35, okay, and assuming that we're really not, you know, on a routine to build or maintain the muscle mass that we have, we are naturally going to lose about 2% of our muscle mass each year from that point on for the rest of our life, basically until we die. Okay.
Right.
Now, is that reversible or preventable? Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, obviously there's going to come a point at a way later point in our life where, you know, it's going to be a fight, you know, and we're going to have to just, you know, do the best we can. You know, we're not going to look like Ronnie Coleman at age 80 years old. But we can
Right.
but we can still, you know, and it's all, I'm gonna tell you the secret. It's all up here. It's all in your mindset. Okay. First thing you need to do is you need to completely change your whole outlook on just, you know, what the word I'm looking for, I guess would be just your perspective on, you know, your self-care and your belief in yourself, to be honest with you, because
Right.
that's where a lot of us fall short. You know, we follow that, you know, that stigma, that stereotype that, hey, once you hit the middle age, man, it's time to, you know, hang it up. Time to slow down. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
No.
Now, do we need to train differently? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Especially for people like you and I that are gym rats who we've gone through life lifting a lot of heavy weight, you know, some of us even done it at a competitive level. That's not sustainable. I'm not saying that we're going to have any aspirations of benching 405, you know, into our 60s. And maybe we will. You know, there's some that do. But ultimately our goal at that point should be longevity. So you want to implement a training regimen that is going to be very challenging. Don't get in there and just go through the motions and lift light weights with a lot of reps. You need to really focus on building strength and muscle, because if you're not, you're going to lose it. Like once you get to the stage, when it comes to muscle, it's very simple. Use it or lose it. And the only way that you're going to be able to use it effectively into your later age is by continuing to push yourself to get stronger. So for somebody like yourself that's trying to get fit into their 50s, my focus would be on your strength training first and foremost. That should be the core of your routine. And then the cardio should just kind of be the icing on the cake. Because I see the opposite. A lot of people have it mixed up in their mind that, okay, I'm going to run, I'm going to do a lot of cardio as I get older. I need to lift weights. The more I did that when I was younger. Okay, well, you may have some good endurance for a while, but once you start losing that muscle mass and you can't run anymore, it's over for you. You know what I mean? So you got to train your mind to play the long game. You know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
So
exactly. I agree. With the new year coming up, well, New Year's here, I'm sure you gained a lot of new clients with people when, you know, the new me, new year thing.
Oh, yeah.
How do you keep those clients like what do you say to them as far as like, don't let this be a trend. Let's make this a lifestyle. You
Yep.
give them any advice like that?
That's like the centerpiece of my whole business model is I coach more to the mindset than I do the actual strength training part of it. Right. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You come here, I'm going to put you through a hell of a workout. I'm going to work you to death. You're going to hate me. You're probably going to cuss me out because I'm that type of coach. Like I'm pretty intense. And my clients will vouch for that, but more than the, just putting somebody through a workout. I really spend a lot of time talking to clients, whether it's talking during our session in between sets, or whether it's, chatting with each other throughout the day, like, in between our sessions, like just, at random times. I'm always in their ear, and I'm always trying to cultivate that growth mindset in them. All right.
Right.
To kind of rewire their brain to really just, not only have a goal, because that's great. Anybody can have a goal, but a goal is just a dream without, number one, a plan, and execute with intentional discipline action. And that's what I instill in all my people is just,
right.
I got the plan for you. I'm your coach. I'm going to give you the plan, but it's up to you to act with intention at all time. It's got to be a discipline, action with intent. And it's got to be with the mindset that we're not relying on motivation. So all that new year, new me sounds great and all, but that motivation is going to fade. And if you're relying on motivation, you're going to start in January. And I guarantee you, if all you're relying on motivation, come February, you're done. You're done. You're done. You've quit. I see it all the time. All right. So that's where the discipline, that's where they got to develop the discipline. This is about, and this is with anything in life, not just fitness. This is, in your professional life, whatever the case may be, it's acting because it needs to be done. It doesn't, regardless of how you feel, we don't act based on how we feel. It's just plain and simple. It needs to be done, and we're going to do it. Okay.
That's right.
And then through time, taking that first step is the hardest for most people. But once you take that first step and then you take the next step, you start to build momentum.
Exactly.
Once you build momentum, you start to see some results. And guess what? Now you've created your own motivation. That's if you want motivation, that's the motivation you need right there. You need this self-created motivation, not from some external source or from some inspirational quote that you read on Instagram. You know what I mean?
That's right.
No, you create your own motivation. That would be more sustainable. But even on those, hey, we're still going to have bad days, man. We wake up and we're not feeling it. But guess what? It don't matter because we know that there's work to be done. So
that's true. Before the show came on, I was telling people how I started running. First, I started watching this guy on YouTube, right? And then I wrote it down. Then I got up and I started walking around my neighborhood. Then the walk-in went to longer walks. The longer walks went to jogs. Then it went to longer jogs. But that was the motivation, and for me to actually visualize it. Then I wrote it down. Then I started doing it. And I created my own motivation. I started to look. I said, "Dang, this T-shirt fitting kind of nice." I've been running. So that was my motivation. Yeah. I got a question for you. With the age group of people between 40 and 50 being, with 44% of them being obese, why do people want an easy fix? They want to go get on this Ozempic. They want to do this. Why don't people want to just dedicate a lifestyle as far as changing what they eat and getting in the gym instead of going to get these shots?
I mean, we're going to rewind it back to what I said about 3 minutes ago, and it's all about discipline. And that's the word that most people don't like. And that is a mindset that most people are not comfortable with. See what it is? Especially in today's world, in this society we live in, with, the way that, we have just this sense of instant gratification at all times. All right. People don't want to, number one, people don't want to put in the work. And everybody's, again, looking for that instant gratification. So anything, okay. This is what I lost my train of thought there for a minute, but I just remembered. people are addicted to comfort. That's the problem. Okay.
Mhm.
People are addicted to comfort. And obviously, when it comes to living that lifestyle, the healthy, fit lifestyle where, God forbid, we got to become a little bit disciplined.
Mhm.
That's the exact opposite of comfort. There's no comfort about this. There's
No.
nothing comfortable about this,
No.
So, and that's what it is. People are addicted to comfort. So, when the medical community comes out with these pills and these different drugs
Mhm.
that can, hey, you take this pill and you can drop 60 pounds in 45 days. To that person, that sounds great, man.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
great. I don't have to do nothing. I can keep,
No.
being lazy. I can keep sitting around like I
Mhm.
currently do. All right. And guess what? Those people, because I've seen, and I know a few people that have taken it or are currently taking it, and
Yeah, me too.
they've
Mhm.
lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of weight gain that's, number one, going to be sustainable, nor is it healthy, because
No.
when you're on that stuff, man, the majority of the weight loss, first and foremost, you're losing all your muscle. Okay.
Yes.
You're losing all your muscle, right? So, okay, you may look thin, but you don't have any muscle tone. And as we get older, here we are, we're in our 50s and 60s, losing
Yeah.
that muscle
You start to
tone.
get that jiggly.
You get that jiggly. Yeah. First of all, that's not the look right there. Let's just be
No.
honest. I mean, come on, man. If you want to lose weight, we still, we want to, be toned and look good. But
Right.
even beyond that, even beyond like the whole vanity and the appearance and everything like that, I'm talking about quality of life.
Quality of
You
life. Exactly.
you lose all your muscle, man. When you get into your later years, in your 50s, 60s, and beyond, your quality of life is going to decline very rapidly, because
Mhm.
that muscle mass is what supports your skeletal system. All
Right.
right.
Yeah.
You don't have the muscle mass. I'm not talking about just to look impressive. I'm talking about just to support your body weight,
Yeah. There's functional strength. Yes.
functional strength. Now this is where you become a burden to your family. That's what happens.
Mm.
So instead of
Mm.
growing old and being able to enjoy time with your kids or your grandkids at this
Mhm.
point, now you can't do it because you're the one that they got to push around in the wheelchair. You got to ride the scooter when you go out with your family, because guess what? You neglected to take care of yourself.
Right.
And that's really what it is. So
Mm.
so the building a muscle at this point, I mean, some of us, we still want to look a certain way, and that's great. To those of us that have been doing this, that still kind of have that physique or whatever, that's great, man. I'm all for that. But even if that's not your goal, like weight training, again, it's all about quality of life when you get into those later ages. And to answer
Yeah.
her question here, she's asking, do body weight exercises help for building strength?
Mhm.
Yeah, they can. They absolutely they can. It also kind of depends on who you are too. I would say for somebody just starting off, that's a good way to develop some strength. But eventually, you're going to, hopefully, I would hope, develop enough strength to where that starts to become easier. But then there's ways that you can still increase the intensity just strictly through body weight. So no, I'm not going to discourage you to doing body weight exercises, especially if that's all that you have access to.
Right.
If you can't make it to a gym or afford a gym membership or whatever the case may be, then I mean, yeah, absolutely, body weight exercises will definitely do the trick. And it depends on like the intensity of them too, because I mean, there's some people. Here's another scene in the fitness industry too. These people that do all of these calisthenics on these bars and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
forgot what
Yeah.
they call themselves, but some of those guys, man, they're like more jacked than bodybuilders, because some of the stuff that they do, like that's true functional strength.
That's
So
functional strength. Exactly.
yeah, you
Yes.
see them doing like these crazy
Yeah.
pull-ups or muscle
Yeah.
ups, and all these
Yeah.
other crazy things they do on those bars. I got a lot of respect for those, and I've never attempted to do
Oh
anything.
yeah. Yeah. I never seen Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler do a pull up
No, no, no,
or a
absolutely.
dip. That's functional strength. Just doing your push ups, your basic. And it's a lot of things you could do at home. A lot of people think you got to run to a gym. There's some things you can do at home too to keep
For
yourself
sure.
up.
Yeah,
And
for
it's
sure. I mean, whether it's body weight stuff, if that's what you're limited to, or buy some dumbbells. Buy
yeah.
some, man, you'd be surprised with a set of dumbbells how much variety you can get in just with a set of
Hmm.
dumbbells. Man, I could
Yeah. I
put
got.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, I got some 40s there. Yeah, and the age group, the 20-year-olds, they from 20 to 39, it's also what's that 41% the obesity rate in this country.
Yeah.
With them going to QT, getting the big gulps,
Yep.
Mountain Dews and the
Yeah.
snacks. A lot of people not really, I guess they think it's okay while they're young, but like you said, as you start to get older, you start to lose that muscle, and then your quality
So
of life. Before you know it, you my age.
yeah,
you know.
seriously, right? So that's true. All of that, all of what you just said is absolutely true. And kind of going back to what I said, it's just the way our world is right now.
Mhm.
That's what they push on, especially through the technology with all the kids now that have their electronics, their iPads,
Mhm.
or whatever, their cell phones or whatever. If they're spending their day, this is what they do. This is because now these electronics have become their babysitters, right? This is
Right.
what parents we don't need to even interact with their kids anymore. The kids are
No.
fine. They
Mhm.
can sit in a room all day and be perfectly okay just scrolling on Instagram. But
Yeah.
so we can take this a little deeper, because
Oh yeah.
what that does psychologically, okay, it's all these quick hits of dopamine.
Mhm.
It starts messing with their brain and how it functions, right? So now they become addicted to these quick dopamine fixes. So this completely rewires the mind from even being capable of being disciplined,
That's right.
or or having any kind of patience in enduring the process to work toward anything, because it's all about that quick dopamine fix, that instant
Mhm.
gratification, and that is what's really causing this spike in youth obesity.
Right.
And when you add on all the crap that's in our food now,
Mhm. Oh
okay,
yeah.
we can talk
Mhm.
about the GMOs, the food dyes, all of
Mhm.
the nasty oils and stuff like that, and
Yep. The
just
sprays and all that. Yeah.
all that stuff. So it's like I feel bad for this generation that doesn't have a parents in the house that have a healthy lifestyle
Exactly.
foundation to instill in their kids, and they're just kind of going through the motions and just letting them become victims of this society that we live in right now. You know what I mean?
Right. You know,
Um,
yeah, that's a good point. When I remember going to fifth grade gym class, we actually worked out. I'm like, we climbed the
oh
rope.
yeah, climbing the rope. Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
did push-ups, we did jumping jacks, we ran, and it was fun. So I don't understand why they took that piece of being fit out of schools. You see so many big kids, and you go to the mall, they 5 years old,
yeah,
about 80 pounds.
yeah.
It's just, I don't know if it's by chance or circumstance. I don't know what's going on, but
I mean, it's a combination of both, man. It's just it's it's their environment.
Mhm.
It's what they're consuming through the electronics that they're on all waking hours of the day. 'Cause let's face it, that's all they do, man. They're
Yeah.
literally on those electronics every waking moment of the day, even when they're
Mhm.
supposed to be in school. I mean, I coach high school football, so I'm on campus, so I hear the teachers
Mhm.
talk about all the time. Kids are sitting in the middle of a class still on their phone. They have to bust kids for being on cell phones all day. Like, kids are addicted to these devices right now.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
addicted to the devices, which are feeding them with all of these quick hits of dopamine, which is totally rewiring their brain. Their brains aren't even thinking naturally the way they're supposed to anymore.
Yep.
They become something else. They're not the same kids that we were coming up. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Not at all. And like you said, they need to come from an environment where, even me coming up, I hated eating greens and
Yeah.
anything green or orange, carrots and stuff. My grandma, she ain't make me eat it, but my mama, man, I had to eat that stuff. But it was good for us, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, for
Now
sure.
these kids coming home, they getting a freaking hot pocket out of the refrigerator,
Yeah.
a juicy juice. They're not eating those quality meals as well, too. So
Right.
that
Yeah.
plays into it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that's what our world has evolved into. Everything's about quick now. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then with the stress of the state of the economy that we're living in now, people have to work 2, 3 jobs or work endless
Yes.
hours. So they
Yeah.
have become accustomed to this lifestyle now where everything is on the go. They have to eat
Yeah.
on the go. You know what I mean? There is no more going home and cooking a home cooked meal. It's fast food. It's all these quick fixes we're eating, or grabbing a bag of chips or something quick. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this, like, if you want it bad enough, you'll make the time for it. I'm busy too. Like, I get it. I'm living in the same, you know, world that everybody else is. You know, I'm not a millionaire yet. I mean, I will be in the next 5 years, God willing, because that's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah,
for sure. But I will say that, you know, I'm still struggling like everybody else too, and I get it. I mean, I'm literally working every waking moment of the day, from the time I wake up at 5 a.m. sometimes until like 10, 11 o'clock at night, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. I haven't had a day off in 3 months. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But that sense of discipline that I've instilled in myself, it still enables me to stay on track and not make excuses. Don't use this busyness as an excuse. Okay. You can still set aside a time. If that means that you got to wake up an extra 30 minutes early to cook your meals for the day, so you can prep meals, then that's what you do. Or if you need to block out Sunday for meal prepping for the whole week, that's a good way. I've done, you know, I've tried it all different ways, and that's probably one of my favorite ways. If you're really trying to stay on a actual meal plan of following, you know, a diet, eating on a schedule, and eating healthy, prepping your meals is the only way to go. Really,
it's the only way, right? Yeah,
really is. Yeah. Otherwise,
and they even have these companies now where you can actually buy the meals already prepped.
Yes, for sure.
Those as well.
For sure. Yeah. So you know, I don't buy any of the excuses. I get it. You know, I mean, I know the world we're living in, but if it's important to you, you'll make the time for it and you'll make it happen. That's really what it boils down to.
We'll take one more question, because I know you got a client you got to get to. She says, I know many females who are afraid of lifting weights. They think it's going to make them big.
I love this question.
I know that's not necessarily true, as they are numerous factors involved. You said your advice for the beginners. And, you know, a lot of women think, oh, if I lift weights, you're going to look amazing if you start lifting weights, ladies. I'm going to tell you that. Long
story short, that's what the results are going to be. Number one, that's that. If you want a quick answer to the question, please lift weights, because you're going to look amazing. That's the quick answer. But I'm going to break it down in on a deeper level and kind of back it with a little bit of science, so that I can really, you know, put your mind at ease that by lifting weights, you're not going to get big and bulky.
Right. Okay? You're not going to be Ronnie Coleman, ladies.
And I'm going to explain why that is. So, all right. Number one, as a female, first of all, yes, there are some female bodybuilders that we've all seen that they are huge. Well, they didn't get that way by accident, and they didn't get that way only by lifting weights. There's a lot more to it than just lifting. All right. Right. Number one, let's talk about it. If you're just starting off lifting weights, because you said your advice for beginners. So you're a beginner. Number one, if you're a beginner, you're not going to lift weight heavy enough to build that kind of muscle. All right. Let's be honest. Especially, and you know, not to be a male chauvinist or anything, but a woman, definitely not the case. They're not as strong as men by nature. Right? So they don't have the capability of lifting the type of weight naturally, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. Naturally, in order to put on that kind of muscle mass. Also, in order for a woman to look like a man, not only does she have to train like a man, she has to eat like a man.
Exactly.
I don't know many women out there that can consume 5,000, 6,000,
6, 7 meals, right? 7 meals a day.
You know, again, it doesn't happen by accident. People that have muscle mass, that have that bodybuilder physique, it was a very intentional process that they went through to get to that. And it was a combination of lifting some heavy weights and very strict adherence to, you know, a diet specifically, you know, geared toward building muscle, right? Which, like you said, consists of eating 5, 6, 7 meals a day, consuming massive amounts of protein. And then the other part about it too, for women, you don't produce testosterone like a man does.
There you go.
That's the key right there. So going to what I was saying earlier about doing it naturally, women that look that way, that look like they have physiques similar to a man who compete in bodybuilding. I'm just gonna be honest. The majority of them didn't do it naturally, and that's just it's just the truth, man.
Yeah,
They had to take some testosterone to get to that.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And we can have that conversation too, because I
Mhm.
competed and I was part of that world for a minute too, so I
Mhm.
can speak on the pros and cons. Well, yeah, let's
Yeah.
just leave it at that.
Well,
But
Mike, for the men that are watching or going
yeah,
to watch the rebroadcast of the show,
sure.
isn't testosterone good for us after a certain age? Because I still take test. I don't take I take the over the counter for right now. But testosterone, I feel great when I take it.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this. There's a lot of great health benefits. First of all, get your levels checked. Get blood work done. All right. See a doctor or a urologist or whatever.
Mhm.
Get your blood work done and have your levels checked, so you have a baseline, so you can see where you're at. Now, from there, once you know where your natural levels are at, you can make a personal choice whether you want to increase your levels by natural means,
Mhm.
which there are some that are somewhat effective, different over the counter stuff you can take. A lot of them are natural, herbal, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of the foods you eat can also help to increase your own natural production of it. Or you can make a choice to go the other route, which is actually taking external testosterone, which you
Mhm.
typically inject in most cases. And tell you what, does it work? Oh, absolutely. And it works
Mhm.
wonderful. I mean,
Mhm.
results are very profound. You're going to notice a major difference in the way you look, the way you feel, the whole nine. But again, it's a personal choice because there's some risks involved. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're predisposed to any issues with high blood pressure, heart disease, stuff like that, liver disease that runs in your family, you got to be really careful about that stuff, because there
Right.
are risks. But there's smart ways of taking it, and if you take it under the direction of a professional or a doctor or
Mhm.
whatever, you should be okay, because they're going to prescribe you the dose that you need in order to pretty much elevate your levels to that of a healthy male, in your age group. But, for some of us, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we call that a maintenance dose. That's what a doctor is going to prescribe to you,
Yeah.
right?
A maintenance dose.
The
Exactly.
maintenance dose, and
Yeah.
you're gonna feel good, especially if
Yeah.
your levels are low. If your levels are
Mhm.
low, which naturally, if we haven't been taking anything at our age, yeah, our levels are probably going to be low.
Mhm.
So if we take that dose that the doctor prescribes us, we're going to feel fine. Um, but if we have any aspirations of really developing our physiques and attaining that bodybuilder look,
Mhm.
then we know what we got to do, and it's definitely not taking the recommended dose. Now
That's
that's where you start to test the limits, and that's where you start to kind of flirt with the different risks and the side effects that are out
yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
know, so I say to anybody that's given it any thought, definitely think it over, weigh the pros and the cons. Get your blood levels checked for one,
Mhm.
and then just really know what you're getting yourself into. Because here's the other thing about that too: when you take that stuff, um, your own body doesn't produce it any
That's
longer.
right. Stops producing it.
It
Yes.
stops producing it on its own. So now you come to that crossroads later on where, okay, I want to stop taking this stuff. You
Mhm.
know, how do we go about this? So there are ways of coming off of it that will
Mhm.
eventually get your, natural production back to where it once was. They have, pills and prescriptions for that as well. So it can be done, but it's not the same for everybody, and that's
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. Like it's hard to gauge, because no two people are gonna react the same. It's not gonna
Right.
affect everybody the same. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing too with being on the testosterone, especially if you're running it at these high doses,
Mhm.
psychological effects. And this is where I'm just going to be very transparent. I started running across these issues when I was competing, because we all know, man, if you've been in that world, if you're competing, we're not taking a maintenance dose. We're taking
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
stringent extreme doses, and we're not just taking testosterone either. We're stacking it with various other compounds that are even stronger than testosterone, like with Tren,
TRT,
you know what I mean? Tren, Winstrol, D-Bol,
D-ball,
Asteron. Like I can go on and name them all off. But when I was competing, I was taking all of those, simultaneously, and psychologically, man, it took a toll on me, man. Like I wasn't myself anymore. So that's the other thing you got to be careful about too with this stuff is everybody's brain is kind of wired differently. So you got to just be mindful of how you're going to react mentally to this
how
stuff.
you're going to react, because it's only going to heighten whatever you already are.
And that's the truth. And that's the truth. It's going to heighten. It's going to amplify what you already are.
If you're already aggressive, you're going to be super aggressive. You know what I mean? So
I'm telling you, so just be careful about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're approaching your 50s or in your 50s and you want to have that quality of life and you want to build some muscle, hey, I'm not going to discourage you from taking it if you're doing it responsibly, man. There's proven benefit. Obviously, it's backed by science. The benefits are there, but just have a plan, have a game plan when you do it, because you have to have an exit strategy. Because
there you go. I'm just about to say that. Have an exit
strategy, because I mean, realistically, you're not going to take this stuff for the rest of your life. There's going to come a point where you're going to want to stop taking it. So just talk about that with your doctor or whatever. Kind of have that game plan already, in place. But
hey. Before I let you go, I know you got to go do your clients. This was a great show. I love the information. We're going to have you back so we can talk about the dark side of, taking supplements and stuff like that. Where can people reach you at? Shout out your social media handles, and how can people get in contact with you if they want to potentially become a client of yours?
For sure. Hey, I'm easy to find. Instagram, Gruppo Strength. That's my Instagram handle. Look me up. Gruppo, Gruppo Strength. Okay. TikTok, I believe my handle on there is Coach Gruppo. So Coach Gruppo on TikTok, Instagram, Gruppo Strength, or you can go to my website. It's gruppostrength.com. If you go onto my website, you can submit your information to reach out to me, to schedule a consultation where we can talk about different coaching options as far as what's going to fit best for you, whether that be in person, where I train you in person, personal training, or I also offer online coaching, which that's going to be the next phase of the business too. I'm really going to be focusing a lot of my energy to that online space so I can, have a broader, help more people for sure.
Because it seems like you do you're more like hands-on, because a lot of these coaches, they millionaires and they give all their clients this cookie cutter diet. You know what I mean? But you, I know you. I tell you, hands-on with your client. You're gonna take the time. You're gonna walk them through. You're gonna answer all the questions. So it'd be great for you guys to go ahead and invest. And I'm gonna link every way to contact him in the description box of this podcast. I'm gonna put his IG, all his information, so you guys can go over there and start you a new life. Mike, my brother, man, I love you to death. Always good when we hang out with the Gruppos. Have a good time. And hey, man, I'm not gonna say this too often, but go Bills. All right. There you go.
I had a feeling you're gonna throw that in there at some point before we were done, man. Hey, I appreciate that. I hope this is our year, man. But,
hope y'all do your thing this year, man.
Patriots are looking pretty solid.
Oh my,
But the Chiefs are out of it this year. So if there's ever a chance that we're gonna go all the way, this is it, man. We don't have to face Mahomes anymore. That's always been our nemesis right there. So like you said,
personally, I'm rooting for the Rams. I just like, I want them to do their thing, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see for sure.
Thank you, brother.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you. Until next time. All right.
My pleasure, man. You got it.
All right, man. Peace. That's Coach Mike Gruppo. I'm gonna have all of his information at the bottom. In the description of the podcast. You can go on there, check out his IG, check out his clients, check out the before and after pictures, stuff like that. Good, great guy, great family. Been on him for over 14 years, like you said, since I moved here. Great, awesome guy, man, for real. Y'all check him out. Y'all share, like, subscribe to the channel. It's a new year. We doing new things. We got so much planned. I love running my mouth, as you guys can see. And we're gonna be back soon with some more episodes. You know, it takes a lot of research to do a lot of these shows, take a lot of putting it together. It takes a lot from the people that come on the shows, because you got to take time out, you know, of their day. And I appreciate everybody who take their time out to come over here, because you could be doing something else. We got one more comment. Who was that? Thanks. Who was that? Okay, Rochelle, what's good? It's good to see you, sweetie. Happy New Year. Thanks for the show, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, we just gonna keep working and keep doing it. As I said, we just gonna build this thing slow and steady, and keeping it going. Until next time, y'all, peace and love. All right, peace.
No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. I'm here to talk the truth and try to spread a little change. Educate your mind, you know, food for your brain. We all want change in these dying days. The streets at rage, for the youth must pray. I ain't got time for y'all to tell me nothing. Cats be frontin', that's when you know they know nothing. It's a new world order, so fall in line. Sometime if you listen, it can open your eyes. This your brain on drugs. Let's explain what was, how some get targeted, dragged through the mud. It's our conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity. Podcast.